Hello guys, my name is Ogola, and I'm a huge fan of basketball. I play the game, I consume it as a fan, and I'm also building a career around the game of basketball. And I've been following the ongoing discussions on the whole KBF injunction to hold rather their activities for the 2023-2024 season. And my take is one, first of all, a lot of people do not understand why we are here in the first place. Two, the impact of the decision on basketball activities. And three, why it is important for us as athletes, why it should matter to us as athletes. And my reason for just putting this out there mostly is on the third reason is why it should matter to us as athletes. And first of all, I'd like to say a big thank you to Dikembe and Dorcas and Dikembe and the entire legal team who have decided to use the systems, the mechanisms provided in our system to address our issues and challenges. And personally, I've been inspired to do more in terms of the game of basketball and actually speak about these issues. So keep doing what you're doing, and you are the people that we need if basketball in Kenya and just generally Kenya is to have a different storyline. So thank you. So with that out of the way now, let's go to the case. So on to the case. So Dikembe approached the sports tribunal and was arguing that the AGM that took place on the 14th of May 2023 did not meet the constitutional requirements of the Kenya Basketball Federation. And in that, Ali highlight three very important issues with regards to the AGM, standards as a AGM. One, alikuwa anasema AGM did not take place within the stipulated time frame. So one, that is two, the delegates who are present in the AGM did not have the required documentation to participate in the AGM. No. Kuna certain requirements zenye ziko kwa constitution ya KBF that they are supposed to meet in order for them to participate in that AGM. And two, there was also an issue of the notice of the AGM and what is supposed to accompanying documents za hiyo notice. One is the statements of accounts, financial statements of accounts, and statements of audited accounts. So what does the Kenya Basketball Federation Constitution say about the AGM and how basically it should be conducted? One, it's not supposed to be held later than 30th of April. That is 14 days before the commencement of the next season, but not later than 30th of April. That is one. Two, a 21-day notice should be issued to the delegates and the members who are going to attend the AGM. And three, that notice should be accompanied by statements of audited accounts and the financial statements of accounts. There are other requirements, but I'm going to focus on those because those are what were highlighted in the case. So when it comes to the delegate issue, the Kenya Basketball Federation Constitution, among other things, provides that for you to be a delegate and for you basically to be a member of the Kenya Basketball Federation, whether is as a club, as a member, as an athlete, as a coach, etc., you're supposed to be registered under the office of the Registrar of Sports. And Dikembe was arguing that the delegates who participated in this AGM have not registered under the Sports Act and the under the Sports Act and the Office of the Registrar of Sports. Therefore, hawana competence ya kuparticipate in activities za Kenya Basketball Federation kwa sababu hawajamit hiyo threshold ya kukua members, which requires them to be registered under the Sports Act, and they are not registered. Hawana official documents, therefore lacking membership rights. Furthermore, Dikembe argued that the notice that was issued was not accompanied by the statements of accounts and audited accounts for the year 2022-2023. So already to that extent hawajamit, mnaona another issue, hawajamit ile threshold ya notice ikipeanwa inafaa kuwa accompanied by those two important documents. So Dikembe was arguing that the KBF constitution is a guiding document of the Kenya Basketball Federation. It allows for things such as accountability na transparency, and clearly from your discussion, from whatever we've said previously, they did not meet those standards. They did not uphold those values that are supposed, that the constitution envisages. Oof. Akili. Envisages. Oh my god. Envisages to uphold. Yeah. So alikuwa na ask the sports tribunal to declare that the AGM was illegal, invalid and incompetent. Why? Because it did not meet the Kenya Basketball Federation constitutional requirements. Now, I think from that, just to talk about more about the AGM and what is discussed in the AGM. One, there's the chairman's report, and so just to discuss more about the AGM and what is discussed in that meeting. Kuna chairman's report, which includes proposals from the council. So executive council ni hao chairman, vice chairman, star chairman, treasurer. Basically wana come up na proposals during your AGM, wana table proposals, and those proposals might look like what they intend to do, changes that they intend to bring, and kwa AGM ndo time wana table hizo proposals for validation, for approval. Two, kuna vice chairman report, hiyo ni activities report, basically what has been taking place throughout the 2022 season or previously. And then kuna report ya treasurer, which iko na annual audited accounts na financial statements of accounts. Through that unaweza ona how important those meetings are. Hizo ndo zina determine one, vitu kama vile league itakuwa the next season. Hiyo ndo opportunity you get to discuss how the league has been, areas of improvement, areas of adjustment, what can we bring, who can we bring to help us develop the game of basketball. Like, it's a very important forum, and the manner in which the leadership of the Kenya Basketball Federation may take it to that importance, and at the end of it all ni athlete ndo anaumia. Wewe ndo probably hautakuwa scouted, wewe ndo people will not get to see how talented you are, wewe ndio allowances zako probably zimekuwa taken, wewe ndio you are the biggest stakeholder, and when there's an opportunity for you to discuss these issues or to see how the federation sees these issues, our team managers, our club, our team managers, our clubs hawajai take to that importance kuweza kuparticipate kwa hizo forums kuaddress issues zetu vile zinafaa kuaddress. Clearly, I don't think if there's a bottom line agreement on every basketballer, we don't like the situation of basketball in Kenya. We know there's kuna so much room for improvement. There's so much room for improvement, and hii ni forum ya how we can improve and how we can get to the next level. But anyway, I'll not get so much into it. Hiyo discuss baadaye. But so what did the KBF say? That's the most important thing. What did the KBF say after Dikembe present kesi yake na aseme hiyo AGM ikuwa held invalid because of the reasons that we've discussed before. So KBF 1 walisema anyway. KBF walisema, first of all, there was no change in the AGM. And two, the statements of accounts that were issued. Also, with regards to the reason for the postponement of the AGM, the Kenya Basketball Federation put forward an argument. Walikuwa nasema there's somebody, a sports personality had died and they needed to show solidarity in the sports fraternity, and that was one of the reasons why they kept on postponing the AGM. I think it was maybe to attend the burial or something of the sort. Yeah, that was one of the reasons why. That was the reason why they kept on postponing the AGM. But we'll see how the court the tribunal rather walidetermine hiyo issue hapo mbele. They were issued to bona fide delegates, that's the genuine delegates. Na delegates basically wameet hizo requirements na none of them complained. And also walisema AGM ilikuwa attended by 62 delegates, and whatever Dikembe is trying to say is basically trying to tarnish the game of basketball in Kenya. Anyway, I reserve my comments on that. So that the proceedings are frivolous, vexatious, and trying to destroy the name of basketball in Kenya. Clearly, they do not need Dikembe for that. But I reserve my comments. So the court had 4 issues to determine. One, ilikuwa first of all kama wako na jurisdiction kuhear hiyo petition. I'll explain when I get into the issues huko chini. 2, whether the petitioner had locus standi to present the petition before the tribunal. 3, whether the notice of the AGM was issued procedurally. And 4, whether the delegates to whom the notice of the AGM was issued were properly constituted. Also, with regards to the reason for the postponement of the AGM, the Kenya Basketball Federation put forward an argument. Walikuwa nasema there's somebody, a sports personality had died and they needed to show solidarity in the sports fraternity, and that was one of the reasons why they kept on postponing the AGM. I think it was maybe to attend the burial or something of the sort. Yeah, that was one of the reasons why. That was the reason why they kept on postponing the AGM. But we'll see how the court the tribunal rather walidetermine hiyo issue hapo mbele. So on the first issue of jurisdiction, so what is jurisdiction? Jurisdiction is basically mamlaka, power, authority, a tribunal or maybe a court to be able to determine na kusikiza na kudetermine kesi. So in this case, ukiangalia Kenya Basketball Federation constitution yake submit to the jurisdiction, allow only 4 bodies to be able to determine its issues ama its disputes. One is the Kenya National Sports Council, that is one. 2 is the National Olympic Committee of Kenya. 3 is WADA, which is the World Anti-Doping Agency. And then 4 is the Court of Arbitration of Sports in Lucerne, Switzerland. So in case wakose kutusikiza, tunaenda Switzerland kupeleka kesi. Anyway, so from that umesikia hakuna sports tribunal has not been mentioned anywhere. However, ukiangalia section 58 vile inasema the jurisdiction of the sports tribunal stems from appeals against decisions made by national sports organization or umbrella national sports organization whose rules specifically allow for appeals to be made to the tribunal, including other sports related disputes that all parties agree to refer to the tribunal and the tribunal agrees to determine. Hapo kuna a lot of legalese, but basically if in this case ukiangalia Kenya Basketball Federation is a national sports organization, and they made a decision through the AGM ama they did something, and Dikembe alipeleka kesi kwa sports tribunal na Kenya Basketball Federation haikukataa mamlaka, haikukataa jurisdiction, haikudispute, they responded. So to that extent vile walikuwa tuseme nini, walishtakiwa kwa tribunal, then wakakubali kurespond kwa hizo mashtaka, inaonesha through their conduct walisubmit kwa jurisdiction ya sports tribunal. But ideally ukiangalia constitution ya KBF haija provide sports tribunal as a mechanism, as a place where you can take the disputes, but through their conduct walipea sports tribunal authority. And just as a sidebar for the lawyers, you see now how KBF walikuwa a bit lazy in terms of, their work anyway. So to that extent, sports tribunal walisema we have the power to listen and determine this case. On the second issue on locus standi. So what is locus standi? Locus standi basically ni how much interest, uko na interest gani kwa kesi wewe kuipeleka before a court of law ama a tribunal. Do you have interest in that case? And the Kenya Basketball Federation was arguing that Dikembe mwenyewe hana any interest in the Kenya Basketball Federation affairs, because one, he's not recognized as a team manager, as a player, as a coach, as a referee, basically as what is it called, he does not have any role in the sport for him to take the Kenya Basketball Federation before a tribunal. And personally, I think this was one of the best takeaways from the judgment, because in determining the issue, tribunal alisema yes, Dikembe has an interest by virtue of being a sports fan. The tribunal really recognized the importance of sports fans in the whole ecosystems of sports. Unajua, walisema the tribunal recognizes the importance of sports fans, pivotal role in the sports ecosystem, and they are a key stakeholder in the realm of sports. Their involvement shows a genuine interest in the welfare of sports and the community it impacts. And also they were guided by Article 10 ya Constitution of Kenya, which are principles of governance and leadership in Kenya. And amongst them ni transparency, accountability, and public participation. As a sports fan, and public participation. There was an argument that they also put forward, which bado niko a bit skeptical about, but the fact that Kenya Basketball Federation is a public body, I'm not sure there is a public body. Someone can educate me on that. The fact that it is a public body, it has to be guided by hizo Article 10, principles of governance and principles of good governance, na amongst them ni hiyo public participation. So walisema tu allowing sports fans to bring cases, wanna facilitate some sense of accountability and public scrutiny of the Kenya Basketball Federation actions and decisions. And clearly from whatever is going on, you see how important it is for a fan to be able to have this right, to have this authority ya kuweza kuleta kesi before a tribunal. Clearly you can see its impact, because all these things have been happening, and the people who are recognized by the Kenya Basketball Federation as having roles, having stakeholder roles such as referees, coaches, all those guys have not been able to bring cases forward, but you see a sports fan is doing that. However, pia walisema we need to strike a balance. Not everyone can just ndo KBF iweze kuran. Si sasa not every Tom, Dick and Harry anaweza kuja, oh leo tuko na kesi, leo tuko na kesi, leo tuko na kesi, because at the end of it all unapata KBF itashindwa kuran. But personally I think this was one of the best takeaways from the whole decision. It may change a lot on terms of who can bring a case, just as long as your case is merited, uko na facts zako unaweza peleka. Si lazima ukue coach, referee, etc as recognized by the KBF constitution. So that was a major win. For us. Yes. So when it comes to the issue of the AGM and its conduct, the Kenya Basketball Federation, rather the Sports Tribunal, walisema hakukuwa na big nexus between the death of a sports personality and how the AGM should be conducted. The leadership should have taken the necessary steps to ensure that there was timely convening of the meeting, timely convening of the AGM. The postponement leo sijui 14th sijui 15th raises eyebrows in terms of good governance practices. So to that extent, they invalidated the entire AGM. Kwa hiyo issue ya delegates, the tribunal saw that there wasn't enough evidence that was put forward before them for them to be clearly validate or invalidate, first of all, the number of delegates due to the lack of sufficient evidence. You remember KBF had said 62 delegates attended and no one complained about the notice, etc. But kwa hiyo delegate issue walisema hakuna enough evidence ya kuinvalidate ama validate the number of delegates. And finally, when it comes to the orders, now this is the most important aspect of the judgment. The orders, first of all, walisema that AGM that was held on the 14th of May was null and void as it violated the KBF constitution. So basically hakuna kitu walidiscuss. 2, hizo resolutions zote zenye zilikuwa made in that meeting pia zilikuwa null and void, na because zili violate constitution, the Kenya Basketball Federation constitution. Throughout our discussion you have seen why zinakuwa invalidated. The timelines did not agree. The timelines were not in line with the constitution. The membership of the delegates was illegal. I did not meet the constitutional requirements. What else? The notice did not have whatever was supposed to be, was not accompanied with the required documents. So clearly you see that there was an issue. So another thing which is very important, all members. The tribunal require that all the members and delegates are supposed to be registered, and hizo audited accounts and statements of finance. This judgment was basically issued on the 2nd of August 2023. And so 21 days we calculate ilikuwa inafaa kuwa by 23rd of August hapo. First of all, delegates wanafaa kuwa walikuwa wameshajiregister, au ni maclub members, au ni maclubs, etc etc. Hawa si wote they're supposed to have been registered kwa office of the sports registrar. And two, hizo statements of financial accounts na audited accounts zinafaa kuwa zimesubmitiwa pia kwa office of the registrar. So fast forward, when is today? So last weekend, that was on 1st of September. As of 1st of September, still, the clubs and all those members who are supposed to be delegates, those are the coaches, referees, etc, etc, still not registered under the office of the Registrar of Sports. Two, with regards to the audited accounts and statement of financial accounts, I am not sure about that, whether they were submitted. So on 1st of September, now this is where we are at right now. I think that was the weekend that league ilianza. Ideally ilikuwa ianze a weekend before, but that didn't take place. It was postponed. This was last weekend. That's when the injunction was put forward. This document that is being put all over, sijui nini, boycott KBF. But yeah, hiyo injunction inasema tunafaa, that temporary injunction is supposed to suspend all basketball activities of the 2023-2024 season. So that basically means KBF haifai kuwa inafanya anything related to basketball. Nyayo inafaa ifungwe for basketball, that is. That means everything with regards to preparation of international matches, basically any function that the Kenya Basketball Federation performs under their constitution is suspended. This is pending hearing and determination of another application that has been presented before the tribunal, which will be determined, I think, on, is it 16th? I'm not sure about the date, but yes, this is where we are at the moment. I hope I have given a good summary or background. Yeah, so for me, the why is it important for us as athletes? Why is it important for us as athletes?